Hello class, this is Liberty Online Academy presenting you with Cheberen Secondary School Online Revision Program. Today we meet for revision of English Paper 2, Comprehension, Literary Appreciation and Grammar. And this particular exam is entitled the Erudite KCSE Evaluation Series, a paper that you have received through the WhatsApp Form 4 revision group, and I want to believe that you have taken your time to go through the exam, have attempted the questions, and you continue to send the answers for marking. I am your teacher, Robert Mutai. Thank you for taking your time, and be patient to the end of this program. Let's go straight to the questions, and the first question says, read the passage below and answer the questions that follow. This passage carries the theme of social responsibility and it is entitled Domestic Workers. It talks about the challenges and the problems that people who are employed in homes as domestic workers face. The first question says, why does the writer refer to domestic workers as an invisible workforce? 2 marks. And the answer is, each of them is employed separately and works alone in a private house. This answer is found in paragraph number 1 of the comprehension. The second question, how does the writer describe the working conditions of domestic workers? 2 marks. The writer describes the working conditions of domestic workers as exploitative and illegal. Question number C. How many domestic workers are there in Kenya? Paragraph number 3 and line number 1, we are told that there are about 200,000 child domestic workers in Kenya. Now, the question number D says, why are domestic workers unable to negotiate for better working conditions? 2 marks. In paragraph number 3 and line number 1, we are told that they are not protected by law and they do not exist as a group. Question number E. What are the unique problems of younger domestic workers? Paragraph number 5 here. The unique problems of domestic workers are addressed as follows. Number 1, they are often paid in kind by employers who claim to take care of them in return for their work. The other one here also, we are told that their payment may go to third parties who may include their parents and their guardians. What example of adverse conditions does the writer give that domestic workers can live in despite luxury around them? 2 marks. In paragraph number 6, we are told that they may be allowed to eat leftovers and also they may sleep on the kitchen floor. Question number G says, what solution does the writer suggest in the problem? In paragraph number 7, the writer suggests the establishment of clear-cut labor laws to address the situation, as well as sensitization of public on the rights of domestic workers. Question number F, make notes listing exploitative conditions that domestic workers face. Remember that when you're writing notes, you are supposed to number them. Present them in point form. Paragraph number 2 and paragraph number 6. The following points are given. The first one is confiscation of personal documents. The second one is underage employment. Then below minimum wage salary or little salary. Another one is lack of time off, illegal deductions of salaries, and also payment of salaries to third parties. Question number I, a sentence that has been lifted from paragraph 7, lines 1 and 2. Law is, however, silent on the plight of domestic workers, and the instruction here in brackets is to begin with however 1 mark. So you should write, however, law is silent on the plight of the domestic workers. Question number J, which is the last question. You're told the following. Explain the meaning of the following words and phrases in the passage. The first word is negotiate. What is the meaning of negotiate? Negotiate is to talk with others in order to find a way out of a difficult situation. It can also mean to bargain, to arbitrate, or to conciliate. The second word, paying them in kind. What does paying them in kind mean? Paying them in kind means paying or giving someone goods and services instead of giving them money. Or you can also say exchanging goods for services. Let's proceed to section 2 that covers 25 marks, and this is an extract or excerpt. This extract is found in page 133, paragraph number 2 to page 134, paragraph number 1, Blossoms of the Savannah by H.R. Ole Kulet. The first question is, what happens before this excerpt? If you can read from page 130 through to this excerpt, we are told here that Tayo has visited Joseph Pemwat's house at the school he teaches and enters into his bedroom. As she continues to survey the bedroom, Pemwat enters and begins to talk about their love for each other. Thus the events in this excerpt. And then question number 2, we are told to give and illustrate one character trait of Joseph. From the conversation, the dialogue that Joseph and Tayo have in this excerpt, we get to learn that Joseph is loving because he expresses his true love for Tayo. Again, Joseph is secretive. How is he secretive? Because he has loved Tayo since Olekailo's homecoming party, but he has not revealed this to Tayo until this particular day as events occur in this extract. Number 2, we are told to give the character traits of Tayo. Tayo also is loving because she openly expresses her love for Joseph Pemwat. She is temperamental because she is easily irritated by the dictates of Nasidian culture. We are told that she responds with an infantile or petulantly with an infantile whimper. Therefore, she is temperamental, and also her determination to oppose her own culture reveals that Tayo is alienated. She is cut off from her people's culture. Question number 3. How is dialogue significant in this excerpt? Here we get to know that first, dialogue helps in development of the theme of love because both of them engage in direct conversation, and we get to know that they are actually in love. So dialogue helps in development of the theme of love, alienation, and determination. Now, the other importance of dialogue also, it reveals the character traits of Tayo and Joseph Pemwat, and also dialogue adds value to the events in this excerpt. Question number 4. Explain any 2 thematic concerns addressed in the excerpt. When I talk about a theme or thematic concern, we're talking about the central idea or the main messages that emerge as you read and understand a story. From Tayo's complaints against the dictates of Nasidian culture, we get to learn about the theme of alienation, which is revealed through Tayo's determination to oppose her own culture that states that she is related to Joseph Pemwat and therefore she cannot marry him. Now, the other theme is the theme of love that is revealed or is seen in Tayo and Pemwat's confession of love for each other. We also have the theme of determination that is also addressed through Tayo's readiness to fight against Nasidian culture so as to marry Joseph Pemwat. We also have the theme of culture and tradition, because it is culture and tradition that is causing Tayo to react the way she does in the excerpt. Number 5. From elsewhere in the novel, how does Joseph sacrifice for his love for Tayo? Joseph Pemwat fights against Olusudori's warriors trying to rescue Tayo from forced marriage, and in the process, he dies. Joseph Pemwat loses his life fighting to rescue Tayo from Olusodore's forced marriage. The other sacrifice also is that he takes a leading role in search of Ntaramoyo and Lante, who had earlier on tried to rape Tayo and Resian, in tracking them, chasing them down, and clobbering them until they pay for their attempt to rape Tayo and Resian. Number 6, explain the meaning of the following vocabulary as used in the excerpt. What does destiny mean as used in this excerpt? Destiny means the future of a person or a fate or purpose. Number B, infantile. Infantile as used in this passage means to act or behave like a child or childlike. You can say infantile means childlike or to act or behave like a child. Number C, petulantly. Petulantly means to speak or to react with emotions, or emotionally or grumpily. You react without thinking. You react with force. You react with a lot of emotion, or expressively with feelings. That is petulantly. And finally, number D under number 6, primitive. Primitive means archaic or something of a distant past that is no longer relevant or important to the current situation. Number 7, our lives belong to us, Joseph. Rewrite the sentence beginning with to us. So you say, to us our lives belong, Joseph. Question number 8, add a question tag to the following statement. Remember that a question tag is a sentence that contains a statement and a question. The statement is punctuated with a comma followed by a question that ends with a question mark. So the answer here is, it is true, we have no blood relation, comma, isn't it, question mark. Finally, question number 9, what happens immediately after this extract? In page 134, paragraph number 2, we get to learn that Joseph Pemwat reveals to Tayo that he is also ready to fight against Nasilan culture in order to remain in love with Tayo. And Tayo suggests that they should keep their love a secret until the right time comes so that they can reveal to their father. Section 3, which is question 3 and carries 20 marks. This is a section that contains an oral narrative. It says, read the story below and answer the questions that follow. Once upon a time, the monkey and the crocodile were good friends. Now, you read the story, and my job here is to go straight to the questions, because I believe that you have read the story, and therefore let us go straight to the questions. Question number 1. How did the two friends spend their time together? 2 marks. In paragraph number 1, line number 3 to 5, we're told that they spent their time chatting. Monkey would tell Crocodile stories about animals on land, and Crocodile would in turn tell Monkey stories about animals living in water. Question number 2. Where does the crocodile live? Paragraph number 3, lines 4 and 5, we are told that the crocodile lives in an island in the river. Remember that many students say the crocodile lives in the water, but he has a home according to the story. He lives in an island in the river. Question number 3. Why did the crocodile invite Monkey to his home? He wanted to eat Monkey or taste the monkey's heart. That is in paragraph number 4, line number 6 to 7. In question number 4, how do we know the ostrich's warning is true? Paragraph number 4, line 6 to 7, we get to learn that Crocodile turns against Monkey and attempts to eat him or attempts to eat his heart. Question number 5, what was the effect of Crocodile's intention to eat Monkey? Effect is a result. Effect is an impact. Because Crocodile attempted to eat Monkey, their friendship ended. Paragraph number 6, lines 4 to 7, we are told that it led to the breaking up of their long-term friendship. Question number 6. What lessons do we learn from the story? A lesson is the general knowledge that we get after reading a story. Now we get to learn the following. We should always think before acting. The other lesson is we should not trust our friends too much. And finally, we should always take all warnings that are given unto us seriously. You know, the monkey did not take the ostrich's warning seriously, and that is how he ended up almost getting eaten by the crocodile. Question number 7. Describe the 2 character traits of monkey. When we talk about character traits, we're talking about the behavior. Monkey is loyal because he trusts his friend the crocodile and does everything that the crocodile tells him without doubting. The other one is that monkey, we can say he is clever, we can say he is sabo or cunning. How is he clever, sabo or cunning? Because he manages or successfully tricks crocodile to transport him back to the land. He lies to him. He tells him, if you wanted to eat my heart, you should have told me earlier before we left land. Now you know, we monkeys don't walk around with our hearts. We leave them at home to be taken care of by our grandmothers. And the crocodile takes him back to fetch his heart. The final question from this section is number 8. How did the crocodile convince monkey to visit his home? Paragraph number 3, we are told that he told monkey that his wife had given birth and that he wanted him to visit and see the newborn. Finally, class, let's turn to the grammar section, question 4 or section number 4 that carries 15 marks. Rewrite the following to remove ambiguity. The first question, Roman number 1, Thomas told David that he lacked manners. This sentence does not reveal to us who is lacking manners here. So you can rewrite it to tell us whether it is Thomas or David that lacks manners and who told the other that he lacks manners. So the right answer here is David was told that he lacked manners by Thomas. You rewrite it so that it can become straightforward in what you mean. David was told that he lacked manners by Thomas. Roman number 2, I ate rice with chicken. Another confusing sentence because it suggests that I, together with the chicken, sat down together and began to eat rice. So how can you remove this ambiguity? You can write it by saying, I ate both rice and chicken. Question Roman number 3, kick that boy with one leg. This sentence also presents meanings that can be confusing. The first one, it can mean that you're being asked to kick the boy using one of your legs, or you kick the boy that has one leg. So how can you write this sentence to remove ambiguity? You can write it as follows. Kick that boy using one of your legs. Question number 2. Replace the underlined words with appropriate pronoun. Roman number 1. The bull stabbed bull's food. The correct pronoun here is the bull stabbed its food. Question number 2 under number 2. James bought James a beautiful house in Canada. The correct answer is James bought himself a beautiful house in Canada. Question from number 3. Carol slaughtered a chicken and put a chicken in a blue lunchbox. The correct answer is Carol slaughtered a chicken and put it in a blue lunchbox. Question number 3. Underline gerunds in the following sentences. A gerund is a verbal noun. A gerund is a noun that has been formed by adding ing to a verb. Therefore, in the first question, having eaten the cake, he still wanted to taste my cooking. The gerund is cooking. It has been formed from the verb cook. And ing has been added to the verb cook to form cooking. Writing brought a lot of joy to the girl sitting at the corner. Writing is the gerund has been formed from the verb write, and writing here is a name of a product or name of an activity that brought joy to the girl sitting at the corner. And finally, in question number 3, I love playing soccer but I dislike swimming. Swimming is the gerund formed from the verb swim. By adding ing to swim, we come up with the gerund or verbal noun swimming. Number 4, rewrite the following sentences according to instructions in brackets. 3 marks. The first question, this is a direct speech. You must surrender before they shoot you dead, Maggie told the robber. The instruction is rewrite in indirect speech. The correct answer should be indirect speech. Maggie told the robber that he must surrender before they shot him dead. Question number 2, Raila rejected election results as soon as they were announced. Rewrite in passive voice. Remember that passive voice is where the object or the recipient of the action of the verb comes before the verb. And we normally use passive voice when we want to detach ourselves from blame and still be able to report the action. In active voice, Raila rejected the election results as soon as they were announced. You cannot avoid revealing the doer. The rejecter of the results is Raila. But when you write in passive voice, Raila becomes optional. For example, you can say the election results were rejected as soon as they were announced. So the right answer here is the election results were rejected as soon as they were announced by Raila. Question number 3 under number 4. Animals are very precious at a question tag. Remember, a question tag is a sentence that is formed by a statement and a question, and therefore ends with a question mark. The statement is separated from the question by a comma. Animals are very precious. So the answer here is animals are very precious, comma, aren't they? Question mark. And lastly, number 5. Fill the gaps below with correct form of a noun. This section requires you to use collective nouns to fill the blank spaces. The first question, the fisherman caught a dash of fish last night. The correct answer here is the fisherman caught either you can say a shoal of fish last night, or a haul of fish last night, or a school of fish. Remember, a shoal, a haul, or a school of fish is a collective noun for a group of fish. Number 2, kindly add a dash of salt to your soup. Soup is just a small quantity of liquid food that you eat. Some people say add a kilo. How can you add a kilo to a bowl of soup? So the right answer here is kindly add a pinch of salt to your soup. And finally, my neighbor owns a dash of cows. My neighbor owns a herd of cows. This brings us to the end of revision of English Paper 2, the Erudite KCSE evaluation series for July/August 2020. I've been your teacher, Robert Mutai, for Cheberen Secondary School Online Revision Program. This program has been prepared and brought to you by Liberty Academy. Remember to download this video from YouTube, like it, subscribe it, and also hit on the bell for notification of new videos. Until we meet again, I've been your teacher, Robert Mutai, and thank you to Cheberen Secondary School staffs led by our able principal, Mr. Felix Kipto, and other staff members. God bless you so much, and thank you. Continue revising. Remember to keep sanitizing, putting on your mask, maintaining social distance, and always be optimistic that we shall overcome it and we shall move on with our lives to greater heights. Thank you. Bye-bye.